Some of you have had multiple odds stacked against you, and it seemed as if this day would never come. But somehow, some way, you managed to keep your course, and once again, I salute you. Congratulations. By show of hands, how many of you remember when you enrolled in school? Everybody, okay, good. Everybody's alive and awake, okay. And this is a rhetorical question, so I don't want you to answer, but what was the feeling like? What was going on through your brain? What was going on through your mind? For some of you, you might have been anxious. For some of you, you were nervous. And some of you, you've been through the schooling process before, so you thought it is no big deal. But whether you were referred by a family member or a friend, whether you saw the big sign downstairs that says enroll now, come to the second floor, all of you, I guess that was funny. All of you made a decision. All of you saw a window of opportunity to change your lives. All of you saw a window of opportunity to sacrifice where you were for where you could go. And with that being said, you all took a long, slow ride up to the second floor, not really sure what to expect. And as you walked in, your admissions counselor came out and they greeted you, and you went back and you talked in the office, and then before you know it, you found yourself taking a test. And all you really wanted was some basic information. And then you went on a tour on the school, you came back down and you had a seat, and then all of you were presented with an opportunity of a lifetime. It was the opportunity to better yourself, an opportunity to obtain better employment, an opportunity to put yourself and your family in a better position. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest word in our English dictionary contains 11 letters, and that word is opportunity. Thomas Edison said it best. Opportunity is missed by most because it is dressed in overalls and it looks like hard work. Most certainly, all of you have put in the hard work, time and effort and dedication to get to this point. There were some of you who made it through orientation. There were some of you who made it through mile 1, 2, 3, and 4. There were even some of you who got almost halfway through the program. And then there were some of you who simply couldn't make it. So I want to say again to you, you should be committed. You should be commended for that. There's an old saying that says, the cream of the crop always rises to the top. And today, graduates, you stand as the cream of the crop because you rose. Thank you. Because you rose to the top. Now today you stand in front of a whole bunch of different opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, only in America do we find a young half-Jewish, half-Arab African-American who can turn himself into small actor into hip-hop megastar. Maybe you may have heard of him. Some of his songs include Hold On, We're Going Home, Successful. His government name is Aubrey Drake. Aubrey Graham Drake, but you may know him as Drake. For those in the audience who may be saying, faculty, administration, staff saying, what on earth does Drake have to do with me being here in graduation? Well, in the words of Kevin Hart, let me explain. You see, his story is one that maybe we can all identify with. Despite rumors he did not grow up with wealth, he did come from a family who had a lot of influence. His dad, even some of his childhood, was incarcerated. You see, Drake found himself like a normal kid, going to school every single day, until one day, a classmate's father discovered that Drake could actually act. And this is what he kind of took to. And then the rest of his story was history. You see, but the main emphasis, ladies and gentlemen, is that he saw an opportunity and he took full advantage of it. So the critical question I have for all of the graduates is, what will you do with the opportunities that are placed before you? Today as graduates, the opportunities for your future are brighter than ever. Yes, you have career training. Yes, you do possess certain skills. Yes, you are smart. Yes, you are talented. Yes, you are gifted. However, that does not guarantee you an opportunity. So graduates, whichever opportunity you may be in search of, it will not simply fall out the sky and it will not happen overnight. Many opportunities in this life will have to be earned. I always say to a group of individuals, don't wait for someone to give you an opportunity. I always say, if you are waiting for someone to give you an opportunity, you might die waiting on a train that never plans on coming to pick you up. You must decide to blaze the path and create your own trail. If no one is giving you opportunity, simply go out and create it. Now, I know all of you are thinking, well, employment is my biggest challenge. And that most certainly is true. After all, who goes to school with the intention of not working? Nobody that I can think of. However, a small truth of nugget, if you come across a job, an opportunity, and maybe it doesn't meet necessarily your pay scale, take the opportunity, because you never know where an opportunity might lead. 9 times out of 10, nobody ever starts off at the top, but we progressively have to work our way up. And the more you expose yourself to opportunities, the more you will find your dream and your passion. After Drake's long run on the show Degrassi from 2001 to 2009, he found himself on the outside looking in. He explains in an interview that Canadian acting money was more than a teacher's salary. It was equivalent, And after his character was cut, he had a job interview, and he was seriously considering that he would have to work at this job for quite some time. He described that this was a lonely place. It was a deep, dark, depressing place. All he knew was that he had a passion to make music, and that was his dream. So the critical question I ask you today is, what is your passion? Do you know? Is your passion crystal clear? Do you know what you want to do for the rest of your life? Maybe you are thinking, speaker, I do not want to be in the medical field or the dental field for the rest of my life. And that's quite all right. But you must discover your passion. You must discover your dream because, as the old saying says, time waits for nobody. I can hear someone say, speaker, well, how do I discover my passion? Well, it's quite simple. Suppose you hit the lottery, $100 million, tax-free, I might add. And after you hit the lottery, you bought every single thing that you could possibly imagine. You took care of your family, you took care of your friends, you took care of everybody that you possibly knew how to take care of. You bought all of the Gucci and Ferragamo belts, all of the popular name brands, you invested your money. And let's say that you had $50 million left over. What would you do for the rest of your life? Maybe you can consider that as a passion. That's one way to discover your passion. The second thing is, what would you do if money was not an object? You see, I am a living testimony that if you pursue your passion, money will follow you, and you won't ever have to worry about a single dollar in your life. You see, for me, I always wanted to get into public speaking. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker. And truth be told, I wasted about 2 to 3 years of my life because I didn't know, I knew what my passion was, but I was too scared to pursue it. I made excuses for myself saying, who would listen to me? Who would listen to the kid with 4 eyes? Most certainly nobody. I didn't think I was smart enough to be here to articulate my thoughts in front of you. It took for me, ladies and gentlemen, to get laid off from work to actively pursue my passion. And today I stand before you, and I say this as humbly as possible, as one of the youngest, most sought-after motivational speakers in the city of Philadelphia. Is it because I'm talented? Maybe. Is it because I'm intellectual? Maybe. Is it because I'm gifted? Maybe. But more importantly, it is because I actively pursued my dream and my passion, and I simply took out and stepped out on a leap of faith. So I personally, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you to chase your dream, whatever it might be. Actively pursue it with everything in you. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will be difficult. Yes, the odds will be stacked against you. And some of you, your dreams may seem too big, and I say, dream on anyway. After all, if you're going to dream, make sure you dream the biggest dream possible. It won't always be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Yes, it will be difficult, but so what? Dream on anyway. You see, one of the worst things in life is not being broke, but one of the worst things in life is to look back over your life and have to live in regret. Sad is the man who has to look back over his life and say those 2 dreadful words, what if? So you see, after Drake was released in 2009 from the show Degrassi, he didn't know what he wanted to do for the rest of his life. And maybe graduates, you're sitting here saying, I do not know what I want to do for the rest of my life. I do not know where I'm going. I don't know where tomorrow might lead. But you have to actively keep on keeping on. Because of his persistence, he was able to transform himself from Canadian actor to mega hip-hop superstar. Years of multiple success. Album after album going platinum. Drake now today stands on the cusp of greatness. So you see, Drake has a song that came out last year that I think is applicable to everyone in here, and especially the graduates of 2014. And the song says, started from the bottom and now I'm... You see, Drake said in an interview that he had to earn every single thing. Nothing was given to him. If we can be honest for a minute, all of us at some point in our lives have had to start from the bottom. You see, for me, before I ever got here, I was just a small kid from West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. You see, my mother was a single mother, and my mother had a really bad drug problem, and she had raised 3 of us, and we lived in my grandmother's house, and then she had met my stepfather, and all 5 of us moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. I still remember the apartment number, apartment 319. So all the graduates, you didn't start at the Harris School of Business as a graduate. You started from the bottom to get to this point. It took test after test, assignment after assignment for you to get here. You came into this school, rain, sleet, hail, snow, cold weather, hot weather, and all of you should be applauded for your consistency, for sticking it out. So in the words of Drake, you started from the bottom, but now you're here. But what is here? You see, here is the place where you find what you are made of. Here is the place where you find out what you're chasing after, your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions. Here is where your passion lies. Here is where opportunity lies. Here is where potential greatness lies. Here is the place where you make a decision for the rest of your life to be successful. And you better believe when you choose success, adversity will strike. So here is the place where life, ladies and gentlemen, will knock you down, but you had better get back up. I want to remind you that even though you started from the bottom and now you are here, don't ever get comfortable staying here. You see, one thing about life is that it will always change, and you must move forward. You don't always need clear-cut, smooth direction, but you must know that forward must be the direction. For in fact, if you stay here at this particular moment, here will eventually become a thing of yesterday. So I want you to move on after today. Yes, I want you to celebrate your accomplishments. Yes, I want you to be proud of what you have done. However, it makes me sick to my stomach when we act as if graduation is just supposed to be the end-all, be-all, as if graduation is the greatest milestone. Graduation, ladies and gentlemen, is simply the beginning of a new book. Notice I did not say the beginning of a new chapter, because even in books with chapters, you can go back. But this is the beginning of a new book, a new plot, and a new story. There will be some of you who will continue on with your education. There will be some of you who may not ever step foot inside of a classroom again. But I challenge you, I personally challenge you to never stop learning. Never stop expanding your mind. See, you don't have to be in class to continue your education. Be hungry for success. Hunger for wisdom. And it's okay to be thirsty, only if you're thirsty for knowledge. Don't ever let anyone tell you what's possible for your life. You see, they told Drake that no one would ever listen to somebody who's from Canada, who's half Jewish and half African American. People told me I was crazy to think that I would get on stage and I would be speaking in front of people. You see, the word impossible is made up by average people who don't see the world through a different lens. Audrey Hepburn said it best. Nothing is impossible, for the word itself says, I'm possible. And I want you to know today, I'm possible. You're possible. Your dreams are possible. Whatever it is that you want to create in your life is possible. You see, they told Bobby Amos it wasn't possible. They told Malcolm X it wasn't possible. They told Frederick Douglass it wasn't possible. They told F.B. Fuller it wasn't possible. They told Bill Cosby that it wasn't possible. But all of them worked their way up, and they started from the bottom and got to the top, and you can too. So all of the graduates, I want you to repeat after me. I can, I will, and I must be successful. Now, when everybody, I want all the graduates, I want you to do me a quick favor. How many of you have a camera phone?
Take a selfie.
I want all of you to take on the count of 3, and we're closing. We're going to take a quick selfie. Now, I do not want you to take a selfie. I want you to take a selfie. And the reason why I want you to take a selfie, I'll explain it after we do it. So, could you all rise and take a quick selfie, please? Please don't be all day. You can Photoshop it later. You can filter it later. Everybody got it? Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to lock that in your phone. And in the future, when you feel like your dream will never happen, when you feel like you cannot make it, I want you to pull this picture out, and I want you to remind yourself that this is the day that I say, I can, I will, and I must. All of you have started from the bottom, and now you're here. My name is Mike Nelson, and God bless you.
Thanks, Mark. And now we'll